What's up, y'all? It's Patrick. Welcome to practice. In our class today, we're going to move through a slow power sequence. So make sure to take your time with everything. Breathe consistently. Try to focus on connecting to each movement as much as you possibly can. Try and tap into the details and enjoy the experience. Let's start in child's pose. Take a moment here. Sit the hips back towards the heels. Let the chest lengthen out in front of you as you stretch the body backwards. Take a few moments here to connect with your breath. Take a few moments here to just be. Notice how you feel today, physically, mentally, emotionally, and energetically. And always let that guide you through the journey ahead, or the journey that you're on, giving you the chance to tap into the moment with a bit more integrity, with a bit more honesty, and a bit more openness. Go ahead and pull forward, come on to hands and knees. And as you get here, as usual, circle the shoulders over the wrists a few times. Try and wake up some energy in the fingertips. Drive through the base of the thumbs. Move the chest around, so almost like you're tapping into some elements of cat-cow pose, but really you're letting there be a bit of freedom here. And if you've taken a lot of classes with me on here, or just in general, one of the biggest things I really like to do in the beginning of my practice is wave the spine here, move through the shoulders, get the hands comfortable with bearing some weight on the floor, and allow there just to be a little bit of movement as I go from place to place. And when the hands feel ready, go ahead and step back to your plank pose. So kind of getting right into the thick of things. See if you can squeeze the glutes, lift the lower belly, and reach the collarbones and the chest forward. Try to press off the toes to drive the top of the skull out, and then push into the hands, like to create a lift through the shoulders. So you're creating almost a ramp, like a downhill slope from the shoulders through the heels. And you want that line to be as straight as possible. Holding here, just letting your muscles get activated. Breathing through your entire body. Staying consistent, staying steady. And then bend the knees, push the hips all the way up and back, downward facing dog. As you get into your downward facing dog, bend the knees, shake the hips out a few times, and come back into some of that organic movement that you had earlier when we were in our cat-cow-esque position, our hands and knees, our tabletop pose. And then once you feel comfortable in your downward facing dog, hold the position steady. And inhale, roll the body forward into your plank pose, trying to articulate the spine every step of the way. Waving the chest out, reaching long. And then slowly lower to the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you get there, low cobra pose, so push the hands down slightly, squeeze shoulders onto back, get heavy in the hips. And exhale, lower. And don't worry about the height you lift to on your low cobra, just feel the back body getting active. Rising up to your downward facing dog through plank, hands and knees, or child's pose. And the hips lift up and away. So you always have the opportunity to push back through hands and knees or child's pose to come back to downward facing dog. We're going to take this movement 2 more times. Roll forward to plank pose. Each time we'll take the lower to the ground just a little bit slower. As you find yourself there, lowering towards the floor for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As you land, inhale, lift shoulders, chest, rib cage, lower belly. Exhale, lower. Your return to downward facing dog through plank, hands and knees or child's pose. And drive the hips up towards the sky as you bend the knees to receive the energy. Last round here, inhale, roll forward, your plank pose. Try and move the spine, create more and more space each time through. And then lower down this time for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the lower belly, lift the rib cage, drive the hips down into the floor. And exhale, release. On your next exhale, rise up into your downward facing dog. Breathing in as you get back there, pushing into the palms. And then inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. On the exhale, circle the right knee to the outside of the right tricep and step the right foot down to the outside of the right hand. As you get there, hop onto your fingertips, walk the hands a little bit forward, and then sway the hips front to backwards a few times. And once you get used to front and back, maybe you start to circle around, play the shifting energy, feel the wave moving you from place to place. And now that you've explored the territory of your position, drive down into your big toe, lift through the inner arch, and try and bring one hand, or potentially both hands, to heart center. It's going to be a lot of work in the legs. You'll probably lift away from the floor a touch, but notice the strength you can build in your legs here. Hold for 5. For 4, push through the right big toe, lift through the inner arch, hug the right hip back in space, extend through the left hip. 3, 2, on 1. Return both hands to the floor, bend the left knee, straighten the right leg, fold down to the inside, taking a few breaths here. Letting the chest melt down a bit, pull the pinky toes back in space, lean the heart forward a bit. Bend the right knee, place your hands flat on the floor if they left, lift the left knee off the ground, push into the palms, and then lift the right foot and right knee directly out to the right side, holding there for 5, 4, breathe into it. 3, try and use the core. But again, as I was lifting earlier, notice the hips were probably too high. See if you can push through the toes, engage the core, reach the chest out, and then step the right foot back to meet the left. Take an inhale here, and then move through the vinyasa. So lower down through push-up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise back up. Knees and forearms drop, look forward. Inhale, pull the body through into your upward facing dog. And exhale, wave back downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg lifts. Big circle to draw the left knee to the outside of the left tricep as much as possible. Push off the right toes and then land the left foot to the outside of the left hand. As you get here, hop onto your fingertips and walk the hands a little bit forward so you can reach the spine out, you can reach the chest forward a bit. And then just like the first side, circle around here, wave some energy into your space. Think as though the hips are getting heavier, even though the feet are being more active, resisting the floor. Try and challenge your ranges at each place. Breathe in here, create a little bit more length, a little bit more range, a little bit more reach. See what space is available for you. And then find your stable ground. Begin to lift through the inner arch of the left foot, drive down through the left big toe mound. Try to float one hand off the floor. Try to float the other hand off the floor. If you're comfortable there, or you want to challenge yourself, try and float both hands off the floor, keeping your spine long. Breathing in here for 5. Trust yourself, keep driving through the back right toe. 4, driving through the right heel. Sit the hips lower. 3. Be mindful and connected. 2. On 1, both hands return to the floor. Let the right knee lower down. Push the hips back in space and fold to the inside of the left leg. Let yourself melt to the inside. Longer through the lower back, breathing in again. Really focus on folding here. I know we say to straighten the left leg, but that's always a thought. It's like straight-ish, working towards straight. It's more important to feel the fold at the hip crease because that will take the stretch into the belly of the hamstring more. Bend the left knee. Push down into the right toes, lifting the right knee up. And then notice here, push into the hands, flex the spine, lift the left foot, left knee off the ground, holding here to start. Really engage the core, find this space. And then begin to lower the hips down to the height they would be in plank pose, but keep lifting the left knee up. Fight that battle, hold for 3, 2, On one, left foot steps back to meet the right. Take the inhale here. On the exhale, slow lower towards your chaturanga for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise up. Knees and forearms drop, look forward. Inhale, pull through, upward facing dog. And exhale, roll back downward, facing dog. Beautiful effort. As you make it back into your downward facing dog, push through the palms. See if you can take the tailbone up to the sky a little bit more, lengthen the low back. And then from here, you're going to move into our awakening A's, but we'll take the journey back to downward facing dog, the vinyasa journey, a little bit slower, just as we've been doing all day. So look long, lift heels, bend knees, step or float feet to the outside of the hands. Maybe you find a little hang time. Maybe that's nothing you care about at all. Either way, you're part of the practice, and that's perfect. Find your active squat. Sit the hips a little bit lower. Pull the knees apart. And then exhale, straighten legs, hands to heart. Inhale, reach the hands all the way up. Try and stretch through the front line of the body. Exhale, sit the hips down. Try and find the range, the depth range for your hips, right? So try and sit until you feel like a little wall, if you will. Then lean the chest forward, longest possible spine. Hands find the floor. Even if you can jump back, I want you to step your right foot back first, followed by your left. Find your high plank or your low push-up, and then either way, we'll all lower to the low push-up position, and then rise back up. Let the knees and forearms drop, look forward. Inhale, pull the body through, upward facing dog, opening the chest. And exhale, wave back, downward, facing dog. Heavy into the hands, look long, lift heels, bend knees. Bottom of exhale, step or float feet into the outsides of the hands. So we're starting to feel more strength in the arms, more stability through the hips. As you sit the hips low towards your active squat, find that wall, and then begin to lift the chest away from the ground. Feel as though you're pulling the knees apart and pushing the hips towards the front of the mat. Arms stretch ahead. Exhale, straighten legs, hands to center. Inhale, reach hands to sky or ceiling. Exhale, sit hips down towards the floor. As much as you can here, right? So obviously they're not going to go all the way down. We want to try to stay active, but we want to feel this connection. Lean forward, longest possible spine. Place your hands down on the ground, and then step your right foot back long, followed by your left. Take the inhale here. On the exhale, slow lower to your push-up position, your chaturanga position. Take your time there, and then rise back up. Let knees and forearms drop, look forward. Inhale, pull through upward facing dog. And exhale, wave back, downward facing dog. Drive into the hands again. Feel the hips lifting a little bit more. We have 2 more rounds here. So lift heels, bend knees. Bottom of exhale, step or float feet to the outsides of the hands. Inhale, rise into your active squat, exploring the depth there, pulling the knees apart. And again, we're lingering in these positions so you can really feel them. Try and get more upright. Try and sit as low as you can with your legs active. Exhale, straighten legs, bring hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the hands up to the ceiling, up to the sky. Exhale, sit the hips back down. Find a softness here, right? A softness in the descent, and notice that you're catching yourself. It's like you're catching your upper body with your legs. Begin to lean the heart forward. Trust your ability to see your potential, to see your future. And your future this time is 2 push-ups. So we're going to step the right foot back long, then the left foot, finding your plank pose. Take the inhale, and then 2 slow moving push-ups. So lower down to your depth, and then rise back up. Lower down to your depth. Try and take your time to get there. Rise back up. Knees and forearms drop, look forward. Inhale, pull through, upward facing dog. And exhale, wave back downward, facing dog. Breathing in your down dog. Lift the tailbone up a little bit higher. Take some energy in the legs. And then lift heels, bend knees. Step or float feet to the outsides of the hands. Try to control every moment of the flow. Allow the knees to pull apart. Lift the lower belly. Reach the hands forward. And again, just try to explore your depth. And try to explore your depth without your pelvis changing position. So see if you can tilt the tailbone back a little bit more. Sit a little bit lower, right? And then lift the lower belly up. So you don't want to be leaning forward. You want to try to stay upright in your shape. Connect to yourself here. Connect to your breath. Feel the sweat building at this nice, slow, connected pace. Exhale, straighten legs, hands to heart. Inhale, reach the hands up above. Exhale, sit the hips all the way down. Pulling the knees apart, lifting through the lower belly, shoulders on the back. Then begin to lean the chest forward as much as you can. Feel the hips folding over on top of the femurs. Feel this space, longest possible spine. Think halfway lift here, even with the knees bent and the feet wide. Place your hands on the floor. Let the right foot step back, followed by the left, finding your plank pose, and then move through your push-up. Lower and rise. Taking time on the lower, holding the bottom, and then rising. Let the knees and forearms drop, look forward. Inhale, pull the body through into upward facing dog. And exhale, wave back, downward facing dog. Fantastic effort. Push into the palms. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky, keeping this power energy flowing through you. Pull the right knee into the chest. Step your right foot up to the right thumb. Again, really working on this powerful energy. Find your high lunge. You're tapping into your strength, into your ability to persevere. As you find your high lunge, all we're going to do here is keep the legs as they are. Slowly lower the left knee down to touch the floor. Let it tap. And then rise. Coming back into your crescent. So there's no real specific amount of time for these lowering of the knees. We're going to do that again. So lower the left knee down to touch. And rise. You go a little bit faster than we're going. You go a little bit slower than we're going. Right? Just try to stay with it here, this lowering and lifting, for about 3 more breaths. Really feels like you're working your hip extension. You're working the legs. You're controlling this pattern of movement in your body. Find your high lunge, breathing in. On your exhale, hands to the floor. Step back to your plank pose. For this round, we're going to take a push-up and then go side plank on the left hand. Take another push-up, go side plank on the right hand. So lower down, moving cautiously through your low push-up to high push-up. Push into the left hand, roll to the outer edge of the left foot. Reach your right hand up to the sky, finding your side plank. Squeeze the glutes, stack the hips on top of one another. Really feel the lift. And then exhale, right hand to the floor. Finding your side plank, take the inhale here. On the exhale, slowly lower through your push-up. I know these are brutal. Take your time. Try to not rush ahead. Rise back up. Also taking your time, a little bit more explosive on the lift. Side plank on the right hand. Reach the right arm up to the sky. Stretch through the left hand. Feel the right shoulder scooping onto the back. Drive down through the outer edge of the right foot. Squeeze the glutes. Hold your space here. And then bring your left hand to the floor, rolling onto the toes. Take an inhale. On the exhale, knees drop. Forearms drop. Look forward. Inhale, pull the heart through into your upward facing dog. And exhale, wave back into your downward facing dog. Big inhale here. Lift your left leg up to the sky. On the exhale, left foot all the way up to left thumb. Rise into your high crescent lunge, lifting the lower belly. And so from here, it's very similar to
working our double bent leg lunge to straighten, right? In our Awakening Yoga Sun B, the only difference is here we're not flowing, we're just slowly lowering the right knee down to touch. Find that moment. Then keep the hips heavy as we straighten the right leg and rise back up. So there's much less control. It's more about going through the movement. And you can go at your pace here. I just want you to breathe evenly. I want you to move with a sense of awareness, with a sense of mindfulness. So you're learning to trust yourself in some of these challenging positions. You're not rushing through. You're kind of like feeling the shake. You're feeling the struggle. You're being part of it. And you're trusting yourself, or building the trust in yourself that you can be there because you can. A few more breaths here. Last full breath. We'll all meet in the high crescent. Try and engage the core. Try and stretch through the fingers. Let the hips sit lower. Reach the hands towards the sky. And then place your hands down to the floor. The work will be the same. Step back to plank pose. Side plank first. We'll go to the right hand and then left hand after the push-up. So lower down through the push-up, going slow, going slow, going slow. And then rising up, a little bit more power, a little bit more push. Driving to the right hand, side plank, Vashisthasana. Stack the hips, reach the left hand up to the sky. Getting a little bit longer here. And then on your exhale, left hand down to the floor. Finding your plank pose. And then lower through the push-up, lower, lower, lower. Nice and slow. Engage the core, engage the glutes, use the feet. Rise back up. Side plank on the left hand. Reach your right arm up. Lift the hips higher, active through the legs, stretch through the fingers. Breathing here, holding here. And then bring your right hand down to the floor. We'll throw in a bonus push-up this time, so lower, 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 lower. And then rise up. Knees and forearms drop, look forward. Inhale, pull through, upward, facing dog. And exhale, wave back, downward, facing dog. As you find your downward facing dog, the work will be a little bit different this time. So inhale, lift the right leg up. And on the exhale, step the right foot to the right thumb. As you get there, come into your side angle pose, Parshva Konasana. Right hand can be on the floor, right elbow can be on the knee. I want the left arm to stretch overhead. Drive down through the outer edge of the left foot, strong in the left leg. Lift the lower belly. This practice is about stability, it's about perseverance, it's about trust. So give yourself these opportunities to find the elements of you that live in some of these positions, or that live in some of these characteristics or qualities. Wherever you are with your right arm, I want you to reach it up to mirror your left. Take an inhale here, lean the right shoulder a little bit further forward. And then from here, inhale again. And on your exhale, I want you to spin your left shoulder over top of your right knee as you roll onto the left toes and twist to the right. Deep inhale here. This is tough stuff, I know. On your exhale, drop the left heel down, twist open to the left side. We have 3 more like that. So inhale, twist, left shoulder tries to stack over right knee, right shoulder spins on top of left, and then close it off. Dropping the left heel down, take the inhale. On the exhale, left shoulder spins down, right shoulder spins up, reach through the fingers. Right shoulder spins down, left heel drops down, left shoulder spins up. Last time here, inhale. On the exhale, left shoulder spins down, right shoulder spins up, left heel lifts, reach the hands overhead. And exhale, close. Drop the left heel down. Open into your warrior 2, straighten the right leg, it's probably on fire. Pivot the toes to face left, take an inhale. And then exhale and fold down into your wide leg forward fold. Taking just a moment here. We're not going to linger in this shape. But give yourself 2 to 3 breaths. So inhale. and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. And on your exhale, walk your hands towards your front right foot. Push down into the palms. Step back into your plank pose. Work in plank will be the same. Slow lower push-up, going down roughly 5 to 7 counts. On the way down, rise up with a little bit of vigor. Side plank on the left hand. Reach up through the right hand. Squeeze the side body, push the ground, try and make your arm longer, and then bring your right hand back to the floor. Plank pose. Inhaling here. On your exhale, lowering through your push-up. Again, taking your time, moving cautiously, very mindful, very connected. Side plank on the right hand. And notice today, nothing we're doing is fancy. It's all just very mindful and very purposeful. Left hand to the floor. Plank pose. And no matter how advanced your practice is, we all need days like this. Tapping into the foundations. Move through the push-up, slow, 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 slow. And then rise up. Knees and forearms drop, look forward. Inhale, pull the body through, upward, facing dog. And on the exhale, wave back downward, facing dog. Deep inhale as you get back. Lift the left leg up to the sky. And then drive the left knee into the chest as you wave the body forward, finding your Parsva Konasana, your side angle pose. And remember, we have a lot of work to do here. This is our last big standing sequence of the day, so give it what you have. Take a breath to center yourself. Find your foundation. Reach the right arm up and overhead. Let that help you spin the chest open to the right side. Lift through the inner arch of the right foot. Drive through the right big toe mound. And then from here, reach the left arm up to counter the right. Lean the left shoulder forward. Long through the side body. Inhale. On the exhale, twist. Right shoulder tries to track over left knee. Roll onto the right toes. Try to stay long in the spine the whole time. And then drop the right heel down. Twist, open to the right side. Take an inhale. On the exhale, try to control the left leg as you twist. Right shoulder leans over left. Chest spins open to the left side. Meander for a moment. And then close. We're at the halfway point on this work here. So breathe into it. Take the inhale. Try and lean forward. Recommit. Reestablish your footing if you feel like you lost it. I thought I did there for a moment. On the exhale, twist to your left. Let your right collarbone shine as much as possible here. Stretch through the fingers. Be mindful of your space. Drop the right heel down. Twist open to the right. Last round here. Take the inhale. On the exhale, twist. Feel the movement through the hips. Feel the struggle in your front left leg, giving you, really all it has to offer in this moment. Hold for 3, 2, on 1. Return as the right heel drops. Open into your warrior 2. Take a deep inhale. On your exhale, straighten your left leg. All toes pivot to the right. Inhaling, and then exhale, melt down towards the floor. So as you take this moment to fold, feel your balance. 3 breaths here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Feel your heart pulsing in your chest. Feel all the energy flowing through your body. It's like your body's a big city at night, like all the lights have turned on in this moment. And it's kind of a beautiful feeling to find. Slowly walk your hands towards your front left foot. Step it back, plank pose. Last round of push-ups here. So squeeze the glutes, engage the core. Lower, 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 nice and slow. And rise up. Push into the right hand. Reach your left arm up to the ceiling. Lift through your side body, active in the glutes. And then bring your left hand down to the floor. Take the inhale. On the exhale, lower, slow, 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 slow. And rise. Drop or to the outer edge of the left foot. Push through the left hand, reach your right arm up to the sky. Squeeze the side body, active in the glutes. And then place your right hand down on the floor. Take the inhale here. Last push-up of the day. Let's make it count. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees and forearms drop, look forward. Inhale, pull the body through, upward, facing dog. And then exhale, wave back downward, facing dog. As you find yourself in downward facing dog, push into the palms. Lift your heels, bend your knees. Walk or step through onto your back. So come through. If you're stepping, left foot crosses in front, right foot crosses behind. Sit all the way down and then roll onto your back body. No deep back bends for our practice today. Instead, just one active bridge pose. So drive through the heels. Begin to squeeze and lift through the glutes. Try to keep the knees pointing straight over the big toes. And then begin to pull the shins back underneath you. You can take the shoulders underneath if you want. Push through the feet. Push through the feet. Drive through the front hip. Just keep creating the drive. Feel the legs active. Feel the shins pulling back. All the work here in the legs, helping you open the front line of the body. Exhale. Release. Take an inhale here. On the exhale, clear your system. We'll take one more bridge pose. You do have the option for Urdhva Dhanurasana if you want it, but again, not a requirement. Place the hands and the feet, and then rise up. Feel your lift. Feel your opening. Feel an element of levitation through the hips. And just keep feeling that fire burning within you, that energy. Everything that you've created through the course of this class today. Very simple in its nature, but very purposeful, very mindful, very necessary in a lot of ways. Exhale, release. Lower, down. Open your arms up like a T. Wiggle the feet as wide as possible. And drop the knees to the middle. See if this helps flatten out your back. And this will be our closing pose today. So you're just going to lay here for a few extra moments. And I really want you to breathe a little bit deeper. Breathe a little bit longer. Breathe as mindfully as you've been moving. Right, all the time we spent doing very slow, controlled transitions, patterns, poses. See if you can bring some of that awareness into your breath here. See if it can help you soften down into the floor and soften down into your sense of self. Feel free to stay here for as long as you'd like. As always, y'all, thank you so much for joining me for these classes. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a weekly video. I look forward to sharing space with y'all again soon. Have an amazing rest of your day. Peace.